Hey there guys and gals, welcome back to Back Pocket Game Reviews, and today we're going to talk about some fun stuff. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've had a video up. Again, a lot of you know I'm currently working as an interim store manager, so I'm working like 50 hours a week still, plus it's a little draining. So, a lot of you know though, the other weekend I went to Wizard World. I tweeted about it. I think I live streamed briefly while I was there. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any footage while I was in the actual hall where the convention was going on because they were playing copywritten music, and I really didn't have that great of a signal. But I enjoy going to conventions for a couple of reasons. A, I get to meet people who watch my channel. I did get to actually run into someone. The first person I asked to take a picture of in cosplay on the second day, dressed as Doctor Strange, was actually someone who watches my channel. It's really nice to hear that, because like half the time, like maybe it's just like my wife and my mom watching it a bunch of times. Or you never know. You never know. So, but a big thing that I like to do when I'm at conventions is I like to go around to the local booths, and I like to meet these people that make interesting things or sell things, or just other people that are interested in the same area that I am. And it's always fun to work with, you know, larger companies, because obviously I've done stuff with Alien Gear holsters, I've done stuff with Squatty Potty, Grip 6, and those are some big companies. Ghost Bed, big company. But there was a game that was there that actually really stood out to me, and I asked if they'd want to work together, and I'd asked if they'd done anything with any other YouTubers, and it was a no. But I'm sure I won't be the last person to talk about their game on any form of social media to any extent, because it's a really cool game. So I asked them while I was there, it's like, hey, would you guys like to work with me? And they sent me home with their core set. This is their core set. It is a card game, and it's not just any card game. It is a very simple but fun and exciting game. And when I say simple, I mean when I was talking to the actual creator of the game, the guy who helped create it, or was the main creator, there were two guys running the booth. One was the artist, one was the guy who created the concept of the game and the cards, and the other guy does the artwork. Really nice guys, awesome. He actually created this to play with his daughters. And if you have kids, like obviously I do, you guys have seen my El Niños running around like the sabotagers they are on my channel. Getting your kids into card games can be very complex, especially when, like, my son's very interested in Pokemon. The Pokemon card game puts him off a lot because there's a lot to learn about it. You've got energy draws, you have potions, you have all this different stuff, and well, then you can jump over to Magic and it gets more intense. And I get it, Magic has different levels of difficulty based upon the different card colors you're going with. Like white can be much more difficult to utilize than a all green deck or a red deck, but still it becomes a lot more hard, especially when you've got instance cards and all these different things that play into it. Well, Smash Masters, its core set comes with, let's open the box here. As you can tell, too, by the outside, they're superheroes, which makes this all that much more cooler. But there is no energy draw on these cards. That was one thing that really attracted me to it, especially when your whole concept is going to be playing it with your kids. Inside the box, you get a rule book. Rules. You need those to know how to play a card game. That's actually a very valuable piece to a card game. The nice part is it comes with 4 decks of cards right off the bat. So maybe you're having a party, some friends over. This is something you guys can pick up and play very easily and have fun together. And ease of use is very good when you're having something like a party or you're playing with your kids. Usually because the more difficult the rules are, the harder it is to have fun with that in that kind of an environment. Like I could have friends that play Magic. We could do a draft tournament for fun amongst ourselves. But if one of our friends comes who doesn't play Magic, it's not going to be very fun for them. And it's going to be a very steep learning curve for them to conquer in a very short amount of time. Whereas something along the lines of this, it's very straightforward and simple. Which we're going to look at some of these cards here. You've got Dark Unicorn, which is ironic because that is literally the name of the company that makes the games. Dark Unicorn. This one's Pony Power. Have you heard about my sidekick? Dark Unicorn summons his loyal sidekick, Night Pony, from the character stack. And there's Night Pony. Tougher than you trot. If Dark Unicorn is on the team, Night Pony gains a free smash. And you use them to, it's called smashing, and you have to stun them, then you can smash them off of the playfield. And they do have cards that play like instance cards. So the smash cards here play very similar to how an instance card does in Magic. You just play that card outright and it deals damage to the card that you are selecting. So it's very simple to understand. It's not overwhelmingly full of concepts to where you can't pick it up at a party and just have fun with it. And there's these story cards, which they were showing these to me. A lot of these are actually very funny. There's this one that's You've Been Conned, and it's very clearly at a Comic-Con. It's time for the Mighty Magic Extreme Expo, the second biggest comic convention in the smallest town in your state, and you've got tickets. Defeat all Magic characters. It's got a lot of humor to it, which keeps it very fun. But as I said, it's also still very simplistic. It's something that you can play with people who aren't very familiar with card games. And that's kind of a joy to this. I mean, when you look at it, they've even got game variants on the back here. You've got a QR code, the glossary. That's kind of cool. And it just explains all about the game. I mean, there's really only 8 steps here to the rule book. So, I mean, none of this is overwhelmingly complex, and a game is estimated to be about 15 minutes, is what they're saying on this. And they even have expansion packs. So there were expansion packs that add more heroes, because obviously your different decks have different heroes in them, like Dr. Desiphos? I can't say the name. Master McMimic. That's pretty funny. Rage Ranger. That's a good one too. And it's just, a lot of it's just very comical, laid back, lighthearted, and superheroes. Everyone likes superheroes, especially kids. So if you want to play with kids, or even if you're playing with adults, I think that's where this caught my attention so much while we were there, is just the capability of anyone being able. So, like, see, this deck has different heroes. And the heroes are all themed to that deck. And that's what the expansion decks are, is different heroes, which there are 2 slots here for extra decks. And the expansion decks, from what I understand, are two characters a piece. But I believe the going rate on this was $30, $40, somewhere in there. I will definitely post the link in the video for this if you guys are interested in picking this up. And I'll be @ing them on Twitter. 'Cause I really like this. It's a lot of fun. The kids enjoy it. Obviously, that's a hard thing to find, especially when you're nerdy. And don't get me wrong, we can always play like a game of Sorry or another board game like that. But this is something that's still more into my realm of what I enjoy. 'Cause a lot of you probably don't know this, but I used to be a huge Magic the Gathering fan. My one friend that I had that played it with me, he moved away. That's why I don't carry my DCI ranking card on me anymore. I used to love going to Two-Headed Giant tournaments. That was like my favorite thing to do, because that's where your team playing. And I'm not always the greatest at single play with Magic, because I'm more like a burn guy. I like fire decks. It's just not the greatest strategy at all times. And my buddy is someone who likes artifact decks and white decks and blue decks. And Nick's just let me keep dealing damage, lots of damage. And if you have stuff that's going to stop me from dealing damage, I'm useless. So this is a lot of fun though. And I strongly recommend it to any of you guys that are looking to pick up or even get your kids into card games. And as I said, that's something really hard to do as a parent because there's a lot of rules to these card games, so it's not always super simple to get your kid to understand. And the more rules you have in a game, the harder it is for a kid. It's straightforward. It's fun. The cards are funny, so your kids get a laugh, but a lot of the jokes are even somewhat over their head, so they don't fully understand it. Think of like Shrek-style jokes. Or as an adult, you all of a sudden realize there is so much more humor to each card or each joke than what you saw previously. It's really fun to see that, like, as an adult from what you saw as a kid, like, oh god, I never caught that joke because I was too young and didn't get it. But here you are. It's called Superpowered Smash Masters. I've made several jokes about the name Smash Masters that were not child appropriate, but it is what it is. Guys, if you have any questions about this game, you can let me know in the comments down below. If you've personally played this game, I would actually like to hear your thoughts on it. What do you guys like about it? What do you dislike about it? And I really want to thank the creators of it for giving me a chance to do a video on it and giving me a free copy to try out with my kids and to share with you guys. So I really appreciate all of that. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You have to ding the bell, or clicking the subscribe button is apparently just useless on YouTube, I guess is how it works these days. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up. And if you have a friend who's into card games, share the video with him, let him know about it. Maybe he'll be interested. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll have plenty more content coming for you, and stick around.